Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It's actually kind of a nasty day at the moment anyway. It's I'd say low to mid 40s. We've had off and on rain all morning, which doesn't really bother me too much, except it's not the greatest thing for the camera. But other than that, I don't really mind working in a little bit of light rain. Let's go take a look at the chickens, because last night was their first night in their new coop. I won't belabor the chickens. You've seen more than enough of our chickens over here, so we won't really spend a lot of time on them, except to say that last night was their first night in the coop. They were mad at me last night. Boy, oh boy, they were yelling at me. They wanted to go into their old chickshaw in the worst way. But no, this is their new environment, and they seem to have done okay. Last night would be the worst night for them, and then I think tonight will be a little bit better. They know what's going on now. Alright, I showed you a few of the onions that we put in last fall. They overwintered in the ground, and they came up this spring. Just a wonderful thing, just like garlic does when you grow your garlic, of course. Gosh, I think we got about a dozen come back out of 20. That's not too bad. That's why we grow a lot of them. Now this morning, I want to put in vegetables into the ground for seed production, and I've got an interesting collection here. This is a Jean de Dube carrot. It's a great baking carrot, soup carrot. These guys, we're going to put these in the ground. I've got some. These are, by the way, these are all open pollinated heirloom vegetables. These are Scarlet Nance carrots. They're a little bit smaller than the Jean de Dube, but they're all open pollinated. They're heirloom. They're heirloom vegetables. They want to grow really bad. They've been in the root cellar all winter. So we'll be putting those in the ground. I've got 3 red beets I want to put back in the ground. So that'll be wonderful. We've never saved beet seed before, so this is going to be a first. If it works, that is. They say that saving beet seeds is one of the most difficult. And then, last but not least, I've got this guy I want to put in the ground. I've got 3 of these in my tote here. This is called celeriac, a member of the celery family, obviously. You can tell by the leaf, maybe. And our celery lasts us so long through the summer and then through the fall. But then we turn to celeriac for our soups and our salads. I cut it very thinly, and it's just wonderful in a soup. I highly recommend growing celeriac if you're a soup maker. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So that's one way to make the holes for the vegetables that you're putting back in with a garden trowel. Now I'm going to show you a different way that works quite well. I've gone ahead and put the beets in off camera so I didn't bore you too much. It's just digging the hole and putting them in, making sure that the roots are facing downward. So that's basically it. Here we are in the ranting chair. This is the chair I like to use when I go on a rant. I haven't gone on a rant much lately. I don't think I have anyway. It's not something that I do as a matter of course. Not to the camera anyway. But we think it's very important not only to grow your own food, and I don't have to tell you all why you need to grow your own food. There's various reasons. And if you want me to, I can go into those reasons. But today we're talking about saving seeds. And we try to always grow open pollinated seed varieties, vegetable varieties. Because with open pollinated varieties, you can save seed, collect those seed, and then grow more next year without having to go to the store and get more seed. And I think that's particularly important because I firmly believe there's going to come a time when you're not going to be able to get seeds so easily. And if you do, it's going to be wicked expensive. So my suggestion to each and every one of you is to learn how to save seed and start doing it. If you're a vegetable gardener at all, you need to start saving seed. Simple as that. Now I know a lot of my friends who watch our channel do save seed. So I guess I'm speaking more to the people who don't save seed yet. And when we're talking about annual plants like tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers, squash, melon, there's many more I can't think of at the moment. Zucchini. There's no reason you shouldn't be saving those seeds, for crying out loud. Seeds are already getting expensive. Save those seeds. When you buy seed to begin with, try to find varieties that are open pollinated, not hybrids, not F1 hybrids. Because if you can theoretically save seed from those plants, but when you replant them, they're not going to grow true to species or true to a variety. They're going to be different. They're going to revert back to one or the other of the two parents, and which isn't the worst thing in the world. You'll still get something, but you're not going to get that wonderful variety that you've grown to love. So please, even if you have to get a little book, go on YouTube and find a good video about saving seeds. The video I'm doing today is not that great. I'm not good at making videos or doing how-to. I enjoy doing it, but I'm not really that good at it. But find a good YouTube video about saving seed, and it's really not that hard. I can't stress enough that I think there's going to come a time when it's going to be very difficult to buy garden seed, vegetable seed. Take, for example, hybrids. If you do want to grow hybrid vegetables, those hybrid varieties are going to be patented. If they're not, many of them are already patented, and they do not want you saving or even growing. If you were to figure out what the two parents were of that particular vegetable, let's say a wonderful tomato that you just love, it happens to be a hybrid, they're going to make it so that it'll be patented and you cannot grow it. There's already, I think you've all heard of Monsanto. Monsanto, the evil Monsanto. Yes, absolutely, I 100% agree that Monsanto is evil. I won't go into the history of Monsanto, how it is affiliated with Bayer and what the nasty things that Bayer has done historically. We won't talk about that today. But Monsanto owns a company called, I think it's called Syngenta. I could be, or is it Seminex? One of those two. I should really check that first. They are licensing these seed varieties, and in order to buy the seeds, you're going to be at their mercy, let's put it that way. And a lot of the old-time open pollinated varieties are going to go by the wayside. So I guess that's about it for today's rant on that. We'll talk more in depth about the biennial seeds as the season progresses. But that should be enough to get you started. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.